You're listening to the BFF Black Fem podcast
on the iHeart Podcast Network.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Black Fem podcast where all the intersections of identity are celebrated. I am one of your magical hosts, John, also known as DoctorJonPaul. And I just have to say, Titi me pregunta si tengo mucha novia. Hey, mucha novia. Hoy tengo una, mana otra. Hey, pero no viene IP and a VB. Hey, no viene IP, and a IP, and a IP. Hey, take a selfie. Hey, yes, that is my terrible take on Bad Bunny's Titi me pregunto, which I never heard that song before the Super Bowl, and I literally have not been able to stop playing it since the Super Bowl because that song goes. I don't care what nobody says. And we're going to be talking more about Good Bunny in a second, more later into the show. I call him Good Bunny because if you know, you know, honey. You know, honey. But we're going to be talking more about my good Judy down in the show. But with that being said, how are you, good sis Joho?
Girl, lovies, it's your bestie Jordan, aka Joho. And let me just say, so as y'all may see for this week, the braids are down, the hair is back, and I'm ready to cut it off. I may just do the big chop and go bald because it's hot. It's hot in this wig, girl. This hair is too much. Oh my God. And I am tired of people needing me for something. Y'all, I done fucked around, made myself too important to too many things. Yeah. This is like, I feel like it's been but what was it? Like, there's this meme that's like, what a blessing to be overwhelmed with the things I once asked for. No, it's not a blessing, bitch. I'm fucking done. I'm tired. No. Stop needing me for shit. Stop asking me to do shit. Stop calling my phone blowing up. Why my phone blowing up?
Yeah. What did Beyonce say? You make me want to throw my pager out the window.
Okay.
Yes. Tell MCI to cut the phone post
so I can move.
Because you a bugaboo. Yes. However, I do want to say one thing before we introduce our amazing guest for this week. It's so sad because if you listen to that song, everything that Beyonce references in that song, nobody but our generation knows about it. Like everyone after us, it's all gone. Pagers are gone. MCI is gone. AOL is gone. The only thing that they would know is breaking leases and moving. That's the only thing. Call boxes, gone. Everything. So everything in that song is
the phone cord. Ain't no phone cords no more. I was like, what's a phone cord?
No more. Make AOL make my email stop. Yeah.
Make my email stop. I mean, people are like, oh, Gmail, it stops? What's that mean? How it stops?
Yeah. But no, AOL, you've got mail, honey. No, not anymore. But with that being said, I want us to stand on your feet. If you are listening to this and you are able to stand, please stand up and put your hands together. In our third seat, we have a Brooklyn-based Black queer non-binary educator, author, plant enthusiast, who I have been following for a very long time. And I think, in the words of a lot of the spiritual girlies, I manifested this because I said, one day this baby is going to be on the show. And I kid you not, literally a couple of weeks later, I got the email. And when I got the email, I said, that name sounds so familiar. I said, who? And Lord, when I clicked on it, I said, God, I manifested this. This person is known for their vibrant Green Girls houseplant collection, joyful approach to nature-centered self-care. And that's what we're going to be talking a lot about today. Raised in West Philadelphia, born and raised, and inspired by gardening trips with their grandmother, they launched Plant Queen on Instagram in 2016 to share valuable lessons. And I'm really excited for them to share their knowledge with us today. Please give it up for the author of the book, You Grow, Gurl, Plant Queen's Lush Guide to Growing Your Garden, Christopher Griffin, a.k.a. the Plant Queen, is with us this week. What a moment.
Hello.
Made it. Yes, how are you, my doll?
I am wonderful, darling. It is such a pleasure to be here with such immaculate energy and presence and melanin, darling. I'm so excited. Thank you for having me. And it's just going to be a beautiful time, darling. I hope the people watching and listening are ready for a show.
Amen.
Okay. I know that's right.
Yes.
That's
right.
Yes,
this is my favorite thing to say. I know that's right. Well, with this week, you know how we always start. For those who are new here, we always celebrate Tisha Campbell in our Still
Mm,
Here segment, and I wanted to engage a through line in all of the conversation today. We're going to be talking a lot about growth today, and since this is going to be part of the theme, I wanted to ask both of you, what strengths do you underestimate or fail to give yourself credit for in
mm,
terms of growth, the things that maybe
mm.
you necessarily don't give yourself the ooh ah ah sensation for, but you know that you have, like, you like every time the dogs call, you bring it. And so I'll start. Christopher will give it to you, and then Joho will go ahead and we'll pass it to you after. What I want to say for me is, I know I don't give myself credit for how much I've been able to do without the effective resources. And I know that
Mm,
this is a story of so many Black queer people, right? We
Mhm.
literally are given absolutely nothing, and we take it and we make gold out of it every single time. And so I say that it's very funny because I didn't, like, today, and like me doing this earlier this week, like, I didn't correlate it, but a friend of mine, well, not a friend of mine, a person that I follow on LinkedIn had posted their resume, and they were like, "Oh, this resume helped me get this job," and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, well, let me go back to my resume and let me work on it. And as I was working on my resume today, I was looking at my resume and I was like, my God, like, all of these really cool things that I have done with no help. Like, it literally, so like looking at that and seeing the growth, and then looking at the growth of the show, looking at the growth of all the stuff that we've been
Mm.
able to do for Black Fat Femme, it means to me that we've been able to attain so much through believing in ourselves and saying, I deserve, we deserve. And so sometimes I have to stop myself and remind myself, like, girl, give yourself, what is it called? Experience, girl. Give yourself some credit,
Oh
right?
yeah.
yeah.
Give yourself some credit for how you've been able to show up.
Mm.
And so I just wanted to say that. But what about you, Christopher?
Yeah. Let's see. I would say that I tend to underestimate and downplay my ability to enjoy the intimacy of my own solitude.
Mm.
Being able to be with myself by
Mm,
myself, it's something I do take for granted, and I think it's something I started really when I was a young child. I was just off in my own little imagination, spending a lot of time with myself. Even though I was surrounded by family, we were a small family,
yeah.
and I think it's manifested in a bunch of different ways throughout my career and my adult life. One, I do a lot of solo traveling, and I'm not
Yeah.
afraid to hop on a plane. And if that group
Ooh.
text is not going to manifest into an actual trip, baby, I will
Mama
take
said, I believe.
I'll do it
hello. I will.
myself. Yes.
My ass will be on the flight,
I don't need
baby.
your
I
I will
catch
be
you at I catch you in the terminal, girl.
hello.
I know
Meet me
that's
there,
right.
girl. Meet me there, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so personally, I think that has been helpful in terms of my traveling, in terms of dating myself. That has been very, very helpful in terms of not
Mm.
waiting for a romantic partner to treat myself to all the romantic things that I want
I
to
know
do
that's right.
in my
Mm.
life. I will take myself to that fancy ass restaurant by
Mm,
myself. I will order what I want to order and have a good time. And then lastly, I think it's also the ability as a social media content creator, I have to go into spaces where I'm often the only one,
mm-hmm.
and being able
Mhm.
to be grounded in myself when I'm surrounded by people, but feeling alone
That's
Mm.
real.
is very important and
Mhm.
unfortunate, but a necessary skill to have when you're navigating this kind of industry. Being
Yeah.
able to go to an event and
Mm.
still feel confident, still enjoy yourself, but probably be the only one that looks like you in the
Mm,
room.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, so those are like that skill of being grounded in myself and enjoying
Mm.
the intimacy of my own solitude. I think is something that I often underestimate and take for granted.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Powerful.
Y'all gave such rich answers. Oh my god. I feel like mine's is so surface. I'm like, what? But
No.
he said no. So
No.
I'll say I don't give myself enough credit for moderating conversations and doing interviews. Like I think that's
Mm,
something that I
Mm,
don't always like. I know it's the thing that I shine and that I feel the most, but like the most like aligned with who I am as a person. Like I love facilitating dialogue, and I think, and I like this past week, or the last week, I guess, by the time this comes out, for my job, I facilitate a conversation about like Black Jewish leadership
Mm.
in Los Angeles and what that like looks like and means, and ask really good questions. And we've been on the show for 4 years now, and like I know I ask good questions. Like I know I ask good questions. I know how to talk to people, and I know how to like hear people, but I don't think I always give myself credit for like how much I shine in that. And this past week, I was like, oh my god, I really am in my bag. Like my coworker had texted me and was like, I'm so in awe of you. And I was like, and at the end, like, girl, I was like, girl, I ate that right. I ate that up. And I was like, no, I do eat that up every fucking time. Like, I really do. Like,
Mhm.
I know when people listen to this show, I know I've got a lot of feedback of people say like like they love the questions I ask. They love the way in which we have dialogue with our guests. Whenever I go on dates or I'm hanging out with friends, I know I ask really interesting questions, and so I think like, and I think I've framed it to myself as like, this is from a place of and it is in some ways like, it's from a place of knowing what it's like to not be seen or heard. So I want everyone around me to feel seen and heard.
Yeah.
But I don't think I give myself enough credit for the fact of like I've cultivated a really big skill from that too. And I think
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
skill that I get to build a life off of, and I feel really really amazing about that.
Yeah, I will say, I kind of always go back to like our trip to New York. I will say, and again, when we were there this last October, Jordan, and we've mentioned this on the show before about how much fun we had on that trip. But I will say, like, I've never traveled with someone who was so intentional about making sure I was good the entire time.
Mm.
From the time we got on, like literally from the time that we went into the what is it, the Delta Lounge? How you doing?
Oh, come
To
on
the
now.
time
How you doing?
to the time
Yes.
that to the time that our event was over, we had chicken, and I forget the name, but what was the name of that place we went and got that chicken from,
Cornbread,
Jordan?
cornbread.
Woo!
Ooh,
Oh my
girl,
God! Mm. The
cornbread
way
soul in
I will
Crown
beat
Heights.
trips.
I was like, Christopher, you must know about this. You must know about
I
Ah,
this.
do. I do.
Mm.
ah,
Girl, that
my
catfish.
God!
Ooh, I slap a bitch up for that shit. Oh my
Bitch, let
god.
me tell you.
Ooh.
Let me
Ooh,
tell you, the moment I get a
ooh,
chance to go
girl.
to NYC again, that will be on the
We going, baby.
itinerary.
We going. We
Ah,
Oh,
going.
can't even say it
meet me
enough.
there, baby. Meet me there.
But
I
my
got you.
God. But
Yes.
anyway, from
Ooh.
the time we left, from the time we went to eat from and we had to part ways because obviously I left earlier than you and you were staying a little bit later, like I still felt cared for. And so that's
Mm.
the thing I will say, like I can speak to you not literally giving yourself too much credit on that. Like, some people are like, oh, I'm such a good person. You're like, actually not, no, not girl. No, like I can genuinely say my sister, if you are friends with Jordan, you are going to be cared for
Mm.
from
Thank
top to
you.
bottom. And it's never like I do it because I expect it back. It's always very selfless. It's just you're just such a beautiful, like I
Thank
cannot
you.
say through and through enough how grateful I am to not only have you as a co-host, but also to have you as a true and dear sister. And so
Thank you,
I just want to say, like,
sister.
both of
Ooh.
you give and bring so much joy to this life, especially in this moment.
Mm.
And I'm just really grateful that we got a chance to kind of highlight that. So, with that
Mm.
being said, we are going to take a break to make sure that we get on our credit karma game. Girl, go ahead. You can sponsor the show. Run us a little bit of coin if you want credit
Girlies.
karma. But we're going to give ourselves some credit and we'll get back with more show.
Fam, we are black, and this week we're getting into the soil of it all, pun intended, baby girl, with our amazing plant queen. And we want to talk to you today about growth and self advocacy. Now,
Amen.
you've got the greenest thumb. I would say mine's a little mid green. If we say yours is emerald, I would say mine's is sage. And
Okay. Not to
I
be
know,
seen in green.
okay, and I know John says it's not their journey, so
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
we'll give John like what's it?
Dirt.
We'll give him like. Give them, give them brown for
Dirt, honey.
dirt.
I'm
Dirt. He
killing
said
every plant
dirt,
I
honey.
touch.
I'm not in the soil. So to
Mhm.
begin, I want to start by asking you, what lessons has plant parenthood given you, and how'd you get to a place where you want to send your work around plants?
Ooh wee. I'll say first, that when it comes to language around green thumb, black thumb, brown thumb,
How you
which
doing? Mhm.
honey,
Why I gotta be black?
exactly. So
Why I gotta be a black
I just want to
thumb?
point out for folks when we're using that
Mhm.
language, let's be aware, and because the words we use matter, right? And
T.
so to associate black and brown thumbs with death, with not being able to care for something, I think we need to get rid of
Mm.
that, right? So
Right.
like I don't use those. I have two beautiful brown black thumbs, baby, and I'm
That's
Okay.
caring
right.
for 200 plus green girls in my apartment. And so
Mhm.
it's like small little things like that that I think, impact our perceptions when it comes to communities. It's small little moments like that. But I
Mhm.
tend to think of, caring for a garden as like a muscle, right? It's something that you
Mm.
build over time. There's no inherent knowledge or any inherent skill. I study psychology and education in my professional. So,
Mm.
like, this is all been an experiment for me in terms of bringing plants into my home, caring for them.
Mhm.
Obviously, I have my grandmother to thank for nurturing the nurturer in me and
Mm.
helping me to see the beauty, the intricate, complex beauty that nature can, kind of show off for us, right? And so I think the most important thing that I've learned in, caring for plants over this, it's been over a decade now,
Mm. Mhm.
is that it's always like our plants and nature reminds us of the various different ways that we can care for ourselves, right? So,
Real.
Mm.
That's
I
so
really
real.
started greening up my apartment at the height of the pandemic, right? And
Mm.
Mhm.
I went from 40 plants to I was at like almost 300 at some point, child. I was like, "Ooh, girl, we gotta dial this back a little bit,
Man,
Uh-huh.
you
child."
got space.
Mhm.
Hello,
I
hello.
said,
I was like,
oh,
plant here,
get
plant
them a
here, this
Lord. You
corner.
got space up in
Hello,
there.
Mm-mm. It's giving Victoria
Ooh.
Monet Jaguar,
hello,
honey. Yes. All
Ooh.
hello,
plants. Yes.
Ooh.
hello, hello.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
Please.
Yes. All
Yes.
right. All right. All right. Yes, honey. That's what it was giving.
Hello. And so, I
Mhm.
am constantly reminded, we water our plants. I need to make sure I'm hydrated, right? We talk
Mhm.
about pruning, yellowing leaves. What are some things I got to let go of to focus on
Mm.
new growth? We focus on nutrients, right? I got to give my plant fertilizer. Are you feeding your soul, your heart, your body, your mind, your spirit the nutrients that it needs
Mhm.
to continue growing? Are you giving yourself
Mm.
room to grow? Repotting. Oh, it doesn't have enough room to, grow and flourish. Are you changing your environment so that you are allowed to grow and spread your roots? Honey,
Mm.
the analogies could go back and forth, right? And
Speak on
so
it, sis.
I think
Yes.
we
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
to allow ourselves opportunities to kind of just sit with nature. I think it's something that it's easy to take for granted, right? But there's such
Mm.
beauty and history and something worth paying attention to. And I think
Mhm.
folks need to really sit down and bring nature into their homes, appreciate the park that you have in your neighborhood, that tree on your block, and just let nature teach you, the lessons. There's so many
Mm.
lessons that nature can teach us, and I think we just have to sit still and observe it. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
so I think for that part of the question, I think that was important to highlight. And in terms of bringing plants to the forefront, I think it's always been like a highlight in my life. Back to when I
Mhm.
was a kid, and I would go on little trips with my grandmother to nurseries that she enjoyed, and being in her garden with her. And honey, this was Southwest Philly. This was the hood, baby. This was the hood, and she had a flourishing garden, and it was
Mm.
the only garden that was in full bloom. And I think that was just um, a manifestation of her beauty and joy as a black woman.
Yeah.
And I think fast forward, I had moved into my second apartment in New York, and I was like, you know what? I want to bring a plant into my home. I still have that plant today. And I started documenting the journey, and folks started associating me with plants. And I was like, oh, this is funny. I love experimenting. I love experimenting. I was like, oh, let me create a little account and be
Mhm. Mhm.
playful and share my plant journey, honey. Many,
Mm.
all
And then
these
boom.
boom,
Uh-huh.
honey. Now I'm making my money that way.
I
So,
know
Yeah.
that's
How you
right.
doing? How you
ow.
Uh-huh.
doing? Yes. Ooh. Yeah, I see Miss Subaru. I said, oh, she had a little,
Okay, yes, Miss
ooh,
Subaru.
Oh yes,
ooh.
baby. You
You
sound a little
better
vroom
go.
vroom. A
I said,
little
come on,
vroom
with
vroom.
the
Beep beep. Who
the little
got the
cross
keys
track
to the
hybrid. I
Jeep?
said, we going places. I see.
Uh-huh,
Ooh.
uh-huh. I
Hello.
love that. I love that journey for us. I love it. Yeah, I love that.
It's been beautiful. It's been a beautiful journey, not one that I expected,
Mhm.
but my mama always said, if you're gonna do something, you do it well, baby. And I was like,
And
Mm,
well, I'm gonna do it well, honey.
and does.
mm.
And
So yeah,
does.
it's been my first full year of entrepreneurship of doing Plant Queen just last year. Prior to that, I
Wow.
was working, daytime job and night
Mhm.
queen, daytime
Night
job,
Queen,
night
yes.
queen,
Plant
Yes,
Queen in the
yes.
daytime
dark.
job,
Night Queen,
Plant
night queen.
Queen in
yes.
the dark, honey. I'm
All
gonna
right,
retitle because I was gonna name
hello,
this
Yeah.
episode "You Grow Girl," but this is gonna be Plant Queen in the dark.
Yes.
Uh
hello.
Period.
huh.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
it was daytime job in the day and then Plant Queen at night.
Uh
Um, uh,
huh.
and so yeah, it got to a point where I was making more money during my social media work than my
Uh
daytime job. And I was like, you know what, I owe it to myself to take a chance on myself, to bet on myself,
Mm.
to invest in myself, and to take my time back, reclaiming my
I
time.
am reclaiming my time.
Time. Hello,
Reclaiming my
my
time.
time.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Words to live by.
Hello, hello. So no
Hmm.
going back. It's
Mm.
Good.
wonderful. It's wonderful. And to be able to experiment with my creativity in different ways. I have a bunch of different little partnerships coming up that I'm really excited about this year. And honey, I'm gonna keep on climbing, honey, like a vine, baby,
Yes.
like a vine, honey.
Yes. Like a vine. Ooh.
Okay, yeah. So one thing I love that you talk about being an entrepreneur because a lot of us are so afraid to bet on ourselves, and I think that's a part of growth is recognizing when you've done the work. And again, we talked about that at the top of the show, right? We talk about I've
Hmm.
done the work. I have all the things I've set myself up for success. So I'm going to bet on myself. But one of the things that I also love is how you've been able, and you talked about this too, like being able to use plants to mirror our own self care. And so
Hmm.
I guess what I really would love to ask is how has your relationship with your green girls, your babies, your plants, how has that changed the way you understand your own growth over time? Because I know, ooh,
Mm.
it's hard out there. It's hard, but at the same time, we still grow. So I would love to know how they inspire you to keep growing.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna two little analogies here.
Hmm.
So I think the first one is understanding that, sometimes plants may not be showing a lot on the top, right? Maybe some leaves are not looking as healthy. Maybe it's in its dormant phase. But honey, underneath those roots are growing and they are fortifying themselves, right?
Mm,
So I
hmm.
think, when we talk about growth, when you're growing, not all that growth is visible,
Tea,
right?
tea.
So I think we have to allow ourselves those moments where that growth is internal,
Mm.
where that growth is not for anyone else's eyes. Like sometimes there's growth that doesn't need a witness, right? And
Mm,
so I think that's important for folks, especially in the age of social media and visibility and all that jazz.
Mm.
Sometimes there is growth that does not need to be witnessed. So I think that's number one. Number two is that sometimes growth is seasonal, right? Sometimes
hmm.
we have to stop, we have to pause, we have to rest. Sometimes we have to go dormant in order to get that energy for that growth period, right?
Hmm.
And, you know, constantly going and going and going is not sustainable. So in my apartment, I have these purple lights. It's some purple lights on right now. These are LED grow lights, and they mimic the rays of the sun, especially in the wintertime when the sun is like, "Peace out, girl. I'm retiring a little early,
When she
right?
said, I'm out of
I'm
here.
out of here, girl. I'm out of here, honey. It's
When she said,
wintertime,
I got
baby.
to
Yeah.
go, I got to
I
Hello,
got to
go.
go.
hello. I'm here,
Please.
but not for a
Uh-huh.
long time, baby. And so I have,
She said,
supplemental light. I have supplemental light but
Mm-hmm.
I do not keep it on throughout. Like I've seen some people where they have grow lights on all day.
Oh,
Girl, our
okay.
plants need to rest. Like they need time to like kind of go dormant to utilize they've been working all day through
Mm-hmm.
photosynthesis. They've been creating glucose, and now they got to like do something with it, right? And
Right.
if they're
Yeah.
constantly producing that sugar, that ain't good for the long-term
You
health
said
of the
they out here
plant.
overworking these babies. Oh my
Overworking the
God.
baby.
Oh,
I'm like,
underpaid and
turn off
overwhelmed.
the light,
Turn
light a
off the light.
Mama
candle.
said, "Can I please go to sleep? I gotta go to
You're like,
bed."
girl, it's
Yes.
5 Jesus.
Hello. Like,
You come
girl,
in and all the leaves are it's like on top of the
Like,
vine, like
girl,
girl.
like,
They're
like
let
like,
it
turned off.
baby,
stop. Oh my
baby,
Yes.
God.
turn off the light, please.
Yes.
And so I think we have to do the same for ourselves. We have to
Uh-huh.
know when to stop, when to pause, when to rest. Self-preservation is a radical act. I think Audre Lorde said it best. Like self-preservation is a
It is.
radical act.
It
And
is.
Mm-hmm.
so I think we need to allow ourselves those moments to sit still, to be loved on, to sleep, to rest, to allow ourselves to play and to have fun and to be joyful, because that is what's going to ultimately fuel your momentum to keep
Mm.
going forward. Like this is a marathon, not a sprint, baby. So you got to
Yep.
be strategic with how you use your energy, and plants are
Mm-hmm.
very good
Mm-hmm.
at that. And so I think that's some lessons that I've learned that my green girls, my plants are constantly reminding me of, that has
Mm-hmm.
helped me to keep in this game for over a decade. And honey,
Wow.
I'm just getting started, baby.
I know that's
I know
right.
that's
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I really love like I love the connection you made between yourself, like us as people and plants. Like I think it's a really great way to one remind ourselves of how connected to the land that we are as people, and how like we're people of the land as well too. Like it's just
Mhm.
that's just so gorgeous, and like
Honey,
I
the
love
land. Sorry.
the honey the lamb
Honey, the land. Honey, the
land,
land.
but like I really rock with this, especially you saying right like growth isn't
Mhm.
always going to be outside, right? Like, I think it's like so much in plants, right? Is about the idea of roots, like the roots are what's growing, like in the most. That has to really spread itself out before it can
Yeah.
grow above. And so I just
Mhm.
Yeah.
love, right? Like there's so much about like growth from within to then to that you nurture and you water and you feed and you give sunlight to, that way it blooms onto even more stuff. So I love that so much, and I love especially because your work has bloomed so much has bloomed so much as well too, right? Like your work has gone from plant care and guidance, and now you have like you have these maybe I'll call them catchphrases, right? You're like, I'm just gonna say it. Or lately I've been experimenting with dot dot dot, right? And you come out with
Mhm.
bold fashions, great productions, and powerful moving words. So I'm curious to ask you, what internal conversations did you have with yourself when you decided to step in front of the camera, right? When you decided to bloom from just to plants to fully centering your body, style, and voice.
Can I
Ooh.
before you get into it, can I ask if anybody's walked up to you and be like, "Are you that plant nigga?" Like, I would love I would love to know. Has anybody walked up to
Man,
you and just be like, "You that plant
man,
nigga, ain't you?" I love it. I
man.
would love to know that. I would like to know that. I would like to know that.
Y'all got me
Yeah.
cackling over here. Oh my god. I've gotten plant bitch. I'm
I
like, you
was
the
gonna say,
plant bitch.
Yes,
I'm for sure
plant
that I
bitch.
Yeah,
bet you
you the
done plant
plant
bitch for
bitch.
sure.
You the
You that
plant
Yes.
plant
bitch.
bitch. You that
Yeah.
Uh,
girl. You that
I
girl.
was hosting. I'll
Yes.
never forget. I was hosting Harlem Pride last summer, and I was like walking around to see the vendors that were there, and
Mhm.
thanking them for being there because it was a hot day. And I was like, let me just go and like talk to all the people who are out here,
Yeah.
trying to grow their businesses and how can I support. So I went and bought a few things. And yeah, this woman came up to me, was like, oh, you the plant bitch. I said, yep, I'm the
Mm.
plant bitch. Come
Out here
on.
giving us
I'm like,
chlorophyll current. Yes.
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 Oh, that shit was so
Mhm.
funny. But yeah, it's often that I get, yeah, people recognize me. It's still, I don't want to, it's a lovely experience being able
Yeah.
to connect and exchange energies with people that I would have never met if it wasn't for my social media presence. And
Right.
I'm a
Yeah.
gregarious
Love that.
extrovert. Like I love meeting new people, and I love, just stopping folks and just having a conversation. How's your day going? You good? You look great. Awesome. You enjoy your day. Um, but I don't know. Social media is so interesting. I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm what I'm doing with intention. It's always surprising to me that
Mm.
people. I don't know what it is, and maybe it's like just something in my head. But it's always surprising when folks are like, "Oh my God, you're plant queen. Hi, what's up?" And I'm like,
Mm.
"Oh
Hmm.
yeah." Sometimes I don't know. It's not hard. It's like I know what I'm doing, but it's still a nice,
I feel that.
lovely surprise when those moments happen.
Mm.
I can't.
Hmm.
It's hard to describe. It's hard to describe.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, I can, I will say I've been places, and me and Jordan, you've had this experience too because you've shared it with me. But like, I'll go places and people will go, Joho, you and Joho, like
Mhm.
they know us together on the show, or they'll
Uh-huh.
go, you're Joho's co-host, aren't you? And it's funny to be in spaces when people do that. But I think to your point, I think one of the things I love about that, and kind of to your point, or to the question you're asking, Jordan, is this idea of just shifting. It's more than just plants, right? Like people
Yeah.
know you for the plants, but I think people also know you for, and I think that's what made me love and start following you too, was this
Mm.
notion of, it was more than just being like, wow, look at the beautiful visuals, or look at the things that you say around growth and plants and all of that. It's the energy. It's a beautiful energy that you radiate in your videos that remind people how beautiful the world can be, how beautiful the process of growth can be. And I think that for me is, what people connect with more than anything. And that's when you see, like, oh, it's working. No, yeah, it is working, because obviously there's a lot of strategy behind everything that we do. There is a lot of intention. But like I said, I think for me it's just really seeing, like, people seeing you is just a reflection, right? Like it's just literally you're reflecting the beautiful energy back to people. And
Mm.
I just love that. I genuinely love that. um I was gonna say, kind of to wind down our combo, you described your home as a jungle, and a very calm jungle it sounds, which I love, because again, ain't no, every plant that you see behind me is fake. I can't do it. And I honor people who can. I've never had it. My
Please.
mama don't have it. Nobody in my grandma did. I think my grandma and my auntie do. They have green, they literally, the greenery loves them. But for me and my mama, never a thing. But with that being said, I think a lot of what your home has become for you is an affirming space in a world that often feels hostile at the intersections of your identities, I'm sure.
Mm.
So, what
Mhm.
I would love to know is, as you think about the work you've done, the work you are currently doing, and the work you're going to keep doing, what does self advocacy look like in a quiet, everyday choice you make to protect your space?
Ooh, wee. I mean, I think it can manifest in a bunch of different ways.
Hmm.
Boundaries is one
Amen.
of them, right? And so I often, in terms of like, the series of quotes that I share on Mondays, I'm just going to say it. These are often things I'll hear out in public, or I'll be a witness to,
Mm,
or
hmm.
I
Hmm.
read, and I kind of jot those things down for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, if I needed to hear this, there's probably other people that need to hear this too. So that's like
Word.
Mm.
that's
Big
where a
word.
lot of this, motivational content has come from. It is stuff that I needed to hear. And social media is social, right? And we are in times when we need more of that, especially for Black and brown bodies,
Real.
especially for Black, queer, trans, non-binary bodies. It's important that we are allowing moments of introspection and self-reflection. And so when it comes to self-advocacy, boundaries are bridges and are the best ways for people to reach you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Mm.
Saying no is
Nar.
no, no,
Nar.
No.
Yes.
no,
Nar.
honey.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Saying
Nar.
no and just
Mm-hmm.
leaving it at that. Like when I say
Mm.
no, there's no explanation because it's not a debate. Like
No.
it's
You
She
no.
said,
said, "It's I'm not inviting you to respond. I'm just saying
she
no."
Yeah,
said this
girl.
is,
Like there's no
she
room.
said this is not, I am not Kamala. I am not
Hello,
Kamala
this is not a
Harris.
debate,
I'm
baby.
not here to debate you.
Like we're
This
not
is,
going back and forth. I don't need. There's no
mm-mm.
more words. Like I said,
No.
no. Um,
Yes.
and
I'm
then
not Kamala Harris.
hello.
Mm-hmm.
And then in terms of those everyday decisions, I think it's figuring out what are the things that fill your cup, right? And I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of having a menu of self care
Mm,
options, right?
mm-hmm.
Because again, part of that self advocacy is that self preservation. Like, how are you caring for yourself? That's not reliant on other people.
Mm-hmm.
However, we can't always water ourselves, and so community care is always important and necessary. And
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to give ourselves grace in those moments when we're unable to care for ourselves and feel okay with asking for help, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, so I think it's a few things, but boundaries and saying no has been ooh, child, now the people pleaser, honey. Ooh, Lord, I'm
Mm-hmm.
a recovering
Mm-hmm.
undercover over lover.
Yes,
Hello,
Erica.
baby.
She had
Baby.
my eyes agree because I eat a lot of vegetables. Yes,
We got Oh my God, when y'all get to New York, please let me know,
yes.
child.
Cause
Oh
you know I'm crazy.
my
No, you
We
God.
low
are a
The
key.
time,
energy,
honey.
baby, the energy here, Lord.
Yes. And
Oh,
that's my that's what I call my tism because I know I'm a little autistic, and that's literally me. Anytime I hear songs or I hear anybody mention something, I'm going to chime in.
hello.
So yes, yes.
Oh God.
Joho knows that about me is that I am forever singing a song.
Oh my
Mhm.
God. Oh my God. Yes. New York's not gonna be able
Yes,
to handle us when we're together, honey. The power of three.
Okay.
The power of
literally.
three.
The
Oh.
power of three P. Come on, yes. For the power of three. Yes.
I love it here. Best
Oh my
day
God.
of the week,
I
I
live,
swear.
and I was supposed to say as well, Christopher, like what, like you also do everything through this like really this big lens of like gorgeous joy, but like like it's fun, it's joyful, like it's silly, it's like whenever I see the videos of you doing like it's like you a big old coat, the little folder, you like you have a little walk on, you do
Uh-huh.
that,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I live. I'm like, oh, you know it's gonna be good, right? Like you one like I feel like you have the like technique of putting people in down as well too,
Yeah.
but I think it's also like you like the way you move with so much integrity, the way you move with so much the way you move with so much it's not just advice because it's like you're giving it to yourself as well as you give it to others. I think that is what also teaches others about self advocacy is that you are also digesting and demonstrating like what it means for you, and I think that's really
Mm.
special with what
Mm.
you do is that you like what you're doing is never prescriptive to others
Nope.
because it's also prescriptive to yourself. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
a message to all of us, and you're saying I'm including this message. That to
Thank
me is
you.
such a great, beautiful reflection of what it looks like to actually practice self advocacy because you're saying like this isn't just for you, it's for me as well too. And the
Mm.
more I liberate myself, the more you can liberate yourself as well. So it just
Ooh,
really,
you gave
mm.
me chills. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You
Thank you
ate
for
that,
sharing
honey.
that. Thank you.
You ate
He
Thank
that.
said you
you.
ate that, honey.
if, if
Mm-hmm.
if y'all
Mm-hmm.
don't mind, there's this one quick story
No,
I
go
wanted
for
to
it.
share.
Please.
So I spent over a decade working in education. So a lot of my work was advocating for Black and Brown
Mm,
marginalized students to
Mm-hmm.
have the resources they deserve to have the most fulfilling educational experience, whether that was in high school, community college, a 4 year institution, whatever.
Yeah.
And so a lot of my work was there. So right after grad school, I worked for an LGBTQ plus nonprofit as a college counselor. And first full time job, I've always been very unapologetically myself and always like pushing the boundaries of what professionalism
mm,
is. And I was like,
mm-hmm.
let me play and show up. I was like, this is LGBTQ plus space, baby. So like
I
I might
know
as well
that's
take
right.
advantage
Yeah.
of it,
Yeah, yeah,
honey.
yeah, yeah.
And so, I was just being me, right? And, I'm thankful and grateful to have a family that allowed me to really just be playful and
Mm,
imaginative with how I
Mm,
showed up,
mm-hmm.
right? So,
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
very blessed. That was the foundation for me that has allowed me to, exist as this person I am today and to continue to experiment with how I show up. And so, I had a student come up to me and they were like, like I've never like you're a college counselor, you're an adult, and I've never like the way you dress and the way you show up, and you still know your shit. It's like I you showing up fully as yourself
Yeah.
has given me permission to
Mm-hmm.
do the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like it's an invite. You invited me to try out different
Real.
things And
Real.
so it was that moment. It was that I kid you not, it was that very moment where I was like, wow, there's power in showing
Mm-hmm.
up authentically because that's an invite
Mm-hmm.
for other people to do the same thing. And so
Yeah.
what you just shared, like that gave me goosebumps because it took me back to that conversation that I had with that
Mm-hmm.
student. So thank you.
Yeah. But you
Mm.
can, if I can, I know we probably need to wrap this segment up, but I was going to say that reminds me of the story. I don't know who it was. I forget the name of the person, but I remember hearing a story similar to Andre Leon Talley. And I don't know if you've ever heard that story, but there was a student who was working, I think, at a fashion institute, and I think Andre Leon Talley had walked out the building, and the same kind of interaction happened. And they said it was Andre who gave them the opportunity to see themselves and how they wanted to show up in that at that institute. And I share that story because I think that's the thing that is so powerful about, and again, I say this about all lanes, not just this show, but I say any show where we're subverting we're subverting media, in the sense of media has traditionally always been white and hetero centered, right? Or
mm,
heteronormative centered. And I think
mm,
when you have shows like Black Fat Femme and you have other shows that are on our network, Keep It, you have, or Keep It's not on our network, but when you have other shows like that, you
Mm-hmm.
have there's just there's a ton. I can't think of them. But what I'm saying is you're giving people an opportunity to see themselves in a way that they have not been able to, and
mhm,
there's so much power in that. And I think it also is the thing, I bring that up because I think about, I know I don't know you from Adam, but I'm thinking about the legacy you're going to leave behind. Like you are literally leaving behind a legacy that is going to tell another Black queer kid, however they identify in the diaspora, that they have the right to not only show up, but to take up space and to be happy in doing that. And
mm,
that's the thing I actually have learned from following and watching you is, just like there's just this innate joy that you carry. And like I said, and I know that social media is so curated and everybody can see what they want to, can show what they want to show, and people can see what they want to see on social. But oftentimes I can always tell when a person's not being genuine, even in their content. I'm like, something about that girl is not right.
mm, mm,
And
mm.
I've never gotten that from you. I've never once thought that what you were doing was putting on. And so I say all of that to say, I always say there are people in this world who are literally touched by an angel, and I'm talking Della Reese, honey.
Oh,
And you're one
Stella.
of them. You're one of them. Like, you literally are one of the
Mm.
people that you are literally touched by a higher power. And I think, when I tell people, and I've said this on the show before, and I've said this to other people, and I'll keep saying it, there are literally angels on this earth. And I believe in my heart that you're one of them. I genuinely believe
Mm.
that your work is ordained. It's something around us said you are one of the people that are going to get picked to do something important for people, and that's why people show up for you the way they have. That's why you're doing so well. And I'm just really grateful to know, like, again, like I said, I don't know you from Adam, but I know in my heart that you're one of the people that the universe has picked to say you've got it. And I don't know what that full it is, but you have it. And
Thank
so
you.
I felt the need to tell you that, both on the air and for you to carry that with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Y'all about to get
Mhm.
me emotional up in here, child.
No,
Lord have
it's
mercy.
real. It's real. Yeah, it's real.
Well,
Ooh.
now that we've given our plant queen a moment to restore their chlorophyll, and remind y'all it's time to take it's time to tend your personal garden. We'll take a quick break and come back with
Mm.
some more show, and this one will be about Benito. More in just
How
a
you
sec.
doing? Yes. Katrina.
Katrina.
Ah!
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So we are back with the segment I love that people are writing in and being like, "Oh, I love that." We are definitely getting into what's popping. You already know what it's going to be about today. We are talking about the Benito Bowl. And what I wanted to do, so I didn't really want to get into this conversation from a place of like, "Oh, let's break it down and let's talk about." The semblance is there. We all know what Benito was saying. We all know what Benito was uplifting and was trying
Well,
to
not all of
basically.
us.
Well, not
I was like,
well,
no.
see,
A lot of people could not understand the
well,
symbolism behind what was happening, but
facts
neither
are
here nor
facts, and
there. So they here
and
nor
I'm
there.
with you when you're right. I'm with you when you're right. But you know what I mean. Basically,
Yeah.
we all the right people got what Benito was trying to say.
Mm.
And I appreciate, that who's the man who performed last year? What's his name?
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar. Thank you. Kendrick kind of set that tone, and Benito followed. Right? Benito said, the black people have something to say last year. Now Latinx folks gonna have something to say this year, and I love that. I love that they followed. But I really wanted to kind of dig into, this idea, or I wanted to engage this thought around the performance, but more I wanted to ask, in what ways did you see your own self reflected or not reflected in the imagery, guest, in the storytelling in the show? Now, I will say this, I get it, but I don't get it. Why Stephanie was there, I still don't understand why she was there. However, from what I've learned in the past week, I've learned that Benito loves her. So I think there is this. What? What did
So,
I
okay,
say?
No. I just love how you refer to her as Stephanie.
Stephanie. I was
That's
like,
her
you
name.
mean
I know, but you got me. I was like, wait a minute.
you mean Estefania Hernandez
No,
Uh,
Stephanie, that white lady, that Italian white lady. No one knew. Like, we were all like, even if and I was with a whole bunch of niggas during that performance too. We looked at each other and said, "Why the fuck is she here?" Like, and then later on down the week, people were like, "Oh, Bad Bunny loves her. That's the reason why she sat at his table at the Grammys." And I was like, "Okay, I get it. Okay."
There's some levels to that shit.
I'm saying, if I was an artist and I was doing the Super Bowl, I would bring out Dua Lipa. I don't care how black my performance was. I love Dua Lipa. I'm bringing her out. I'll bring Britney out because I like Britney. So yeah. But anyway, so all of that to be said, I would love to know your thoughts, how you saw the show or how you get it. I will say for me, and then I'll pass it to you, Christopher, and then we'll throw it to you, Joho. I will say for me, one of the things that I really appreciated, outside of all of the notes that I have about basically every single moment of that presentation. And I even want to shout out, I saw a clip this morning. So there's a certain spot when Benito was with the camera was like following him at the beginning. That actually was a very intentional shot. And that shot was created by a black man. I don't know his name, but I will say that shot, it actually started in Spike Lee's films. Like, Spike Lee is known for doing it in his films. That actually was done and started by a black man. So shout out Black history. You didn't know you needed. But all that to be said, I appreciated just the intentionality of it all. Mainly the moment with the two men dancing on the truck. I was like, okay, how you doing?
The 3 seconds of a bump and grind.
Yeah,
Like,
but also during the marriage sequence, there were two women dancing together.
Yes.
So there was just a lot of queerness in the performance, even without it having to be like outrightly queer, because he could have had two Latinx people, two Latinx men, two Latinx women getting married, and that could have been a bigger thing, right? But there was just subtle queerness moments that I was like, okay, that's cool. But then when Uncle Ricky popped up, I said, okay. I said, this is how you do it. I said, this is how you make a bigger statement without it needing to be a moment. By having Ricky Martin pop up, that for me was just, there was something to be said about Uncle Ricky being there. So I just wanted to put that out there. I think the last thing I want to say is, like, the moment where I actually got really emotional wasn't even just the performance. The performance is great. And y'all know how I feel about Benito. But I will say, the moment when he handed the little boy the Grammy, that is where I literally lost it. And I'm getting almost choked up talking about it, because I think about little Jonathan. I think about myself as a baby. And it's not lost on me, like, how I sometimes will look at my book just randomly. Like, I'll walk through my house and I'll see my book and I'm like, damn, I did that. Or someone will mention the podcast and I'm like, damn, like, or I'll catch our awards. I'll just randomly be coming into my office and I'll see the awards and I'm like, yo, like, we're like, I did that. And little Jonathan never thought that I would be here, like, in this, doing this. Like, it's a thing. But I also want to say, it's not lost on me how he won a Grammy on Sunday and did the Super Bowl the following week after. Like, come on. Like, dreams do come true. And yes, you go through hell to make those dreams happen. And I'm sure, like, I know his life has not been easy. And I know he's probably experienced a lot. But just all of that, there's so much symbolism in it. There's so much love. And I'm just such a big fan of what he does and what he's going to keep doing, from what I understand. I'm just gonna say my dreams may be delayed, but they are not denied, and that is literally what I got from that performance. Your dreams may be delayed, but they are not denied. And so, go off, Benito. But what are your thoughts, Chris? You got anything?
Yeah,
I
you
know I
know,
said a lot.
obviously. Oh no, yeah, no. Obviously, the queer symbolism was all throughout. I didn't really watch the. I'm not. I'm not a sports girly.
I got you.
I don't. I think I've been to one basketball game, one soccer game, and I think I've
Try one
never.
of every sport just to watch.
Yeah, just to,
Just to like
and I love a
peruse and
little box.
sample.
Little invite me to the box.
Yeah, okay, love a box seat. Love a
Yeah.
box seat.
Boxy,
Uh-huh.
observe, people watch,
Oh,
love it.
look at the treat. Girl, paint
Right?
the popcorn over here.
It's the grass grill.
Double doggy
I
shot.
love
That's what it's called.
I
Sorry
love
about that. Yeah.
And so for me, I enjoy like people watching. I like seeing other people enjoy themselves and get into the theatric. Like that's what sports are. Like it's theater in a different way. And I think for that performance, outside of the intentional queerness throughout it, I think the decision to sing in Spanish throughout, I think was very lovely. And as a person with a hearing loss, I can only watch television with subtitles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think that I felt included. I was like, oh, like there are subtitles and I'm following along. Like I don't need to prompt my television to provide this. So that felt really, really nice. And I hope there was, I don't know. I hope folks that don't rely on subtitles or don't necessarily think about the inability to hear or to make out clearly when we're witnessing something, like what it feels like to be on the other side of
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
think that was a very lovely, powerful moment for me to be able to see the subtitles there and being like, wow, this is something that they're providing. And this is something that like if you don't speak Spanish, you got to read these subtitles, right? And so I think for me that was like a big moment that allowed for a little more introspection that I hope folks didn't just throw out the window. But having to rely on subtitles to follow through a performance is something that I do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I think that's an experience that other folks had to, if they didn't speak Spanish, that they had to engage with as well. So I thought that was a lovely moment too.
Yeah.
You know, your first part of the question, John, being like, how do you see your own identity reflected in this? I want to be really intentional and like in acknowledging that this isn't right, isn't my identity in that way, and so
Right.
like I don't want to be like so many folks were like so many folks, especially folks who were not like Puerto Rican, were like radicalizing women to them, and I want to make sure I don't approach that right. Like I want to be an accomplice, but not someone who like co-ops something, right? So,
Right.
I think things I was really, really like moved by. I think one because when I had watched, he made a short film based off the album Debbie Tira Más Fotos, and the short film explored where Puerto Rico is from, and like if the story follows this man who it's like him trying to adjust to life. And it was really it's really powerful. And like then you he wakes up, he goes to town, he goes into town, goes to buy coffee, but the coffee only takes tap. It doesn't do cash now anymore. And so he's stuck. He's like you took cash last week, like, oh, and now it's a tap only system. And he's like, well, I have the cash, I just don't have the phone to tap. Like, what can I do? And like, well, you can't buy the thing. So and then somebody like comes and is like and is like sorry, like, I got you. Like he taps it for him instead, and the guy's like, oh, here, I'll give the cash. And he's like no, it's fine. Like I understand. He's like it's frustrating that we're living in a world that's constantly being gentrified. and
Mm.
we can't keep up with it, and it sucks when like we aren't given the tools to like adjust here. And so, and the especially moment between him as this older native of Puerto Rico, and probably this younger person who also is native to it, but like but like as a younger person is adjusting to what's happening,
Yeah.
but also making the point of like, right, of like you have all this nostalgia, and you have all this beauty of nostalgia, and and like he was saying, like he misses when these guys would ride down the street blasting music, because it made him feel like it made him feel like the sounds of Puerto Rico were all around him. And so I think I loved the imagery of turning the field into Puerto Rico in that moment. And that's something that I really appreciate, right, from Kendrick's performance last year, was that they didn't build a stage. Like the whole field was the stage. And I think it makes it an immersive art experience. I think about that when
Mm.
Beyonce did it for the Beyonce Bowl on Netflix. I think about when with Kendrick doing and Bad Bunny doing this, because it one shows you, like, it immerses you into something different than just like the experience of seeing a stage. I think having all the people be different grasses was really cool. Him walking through different different parts of like the barrio, and seeing the neighborhood, right? Seeing seeing the jewelry vendor, seeing the taco
The
stand,
nail people.
the
Yeah, the
nail people,
nail
the
girls.
salon, right? Like that was
Yeah.
like it's him
Uh-huh.
trying, right, like him having I know part of his story is that he has this like casita that people will dance around, right? Having Jessica Alba, Cardi B, Carol G, Young Miko, right? Having folks that represent different parts of Latin America as well too. I was like, Jessica Alba, what is she doing there?
Right. I was like, girl,
I was
you
like,
know, what the fuck is you
come
doing
on,
here?
honey.
That was me when I saw her. I was like, what the fuck is she doing here? But okay.
I love that Miss Alba is leading into her Mexican roots. Like love that for her. And so, but
Okay.
like I think it was
Yeah,
really like I
Her
think that was a
honest soul.
special.
But go off. Uh-huh.
That was special seeing that. It was special
Hmm.
seeing like him saying, right, like you, so many of the United States has tried to colonize Puerto Rico, but
but
like Puerto Rico is
um,
actually this gorgeous place, and I want to show you how beautiful it is
yeah,
by bringing it here to you. That's amazing. I definitely think having Ricky Martin sing "Lo que le pasó Hawaii" was really amazing, because that song is about what happened
The
in Hawaii
colonization
and
of Hawaii. Yeah.
gentrification, right? And how he doesn't want that to happen in Puerto Rico. So I think that was really
yeah,
amazing too. And Ricky Martin, right, like a queer Puerto Rican singer who is all intents and purposes like is famous, but like has not been propelled in some way, like because of his sexuality, right? I think having him center stage was really amazing with that. I think having Miss Gagita was like, I think one about
That was big. Yeah.
like I think I think like it's not just that he loves Lady Gaga, but also that one, a lot of people are like we want some English, right? So there's your English singer, and she represents like the thing that like the government hates a lot too. Like she's the white person that the government also hates. And so I think like and she has always positioned herself, I think, as an advocate and accomplice in this work in
well,
some way as she can as a celebrity. So I
T.
think
uh,
like I think there was some strategy to having her.
yeah,
I still was like, I mean, God, like
Choices.
okay, like sure,
Yeah.
like
Choices. Yeah.
but also great, right? She's saying that the smile, which is written by her and Bruno Mars, and Bruno Mars is also Puerto Rican as well too. So I was like, okay,
yeah,
like I see some like connections here. I think that was really amazing. I definitely think the giving the Grammy to his younger self was absolutely
yeah,
beautiful. I think him rounding off every Latin American country. That to me, like the ending was so dope for like to see that, because what a way to say when you say America, you have to include every single country
or,
in North and South and Central America. It's not
Yeah.
just the United States. And
uh-huh,
I deeply valued him making that apparent to all of us, right? Like, because people who are from these different countries, like they already know that it's us, like U.S. people who think we're the only America here. And so
Right.
I really loved him
Right.
saying like, I'm gonna put into I'm showing you to your face, like it's not just you all. We are all like right. And on the football, I think it said together we are
Uh
America.
huh. Uh
I
uh-huh,
huh.
thought that was amazing. I appreciate that he ended with DTMF Debutado Mas Fotos. I wish he sung that more because that's one of my favorite songs. Right, but that entire song is about the idea, right? It says the translation is I should have taken more photos, and swimming in nostalgia and saying like I should have taken more photos and been part of more memories. And I think ending on that song, which is about nostalgia and past, I think is a great way to say like I should take more photos, but also what a moment to say this is our present, and this actually can be our better. This can be our better future
Better
Mhm.
if we
future.
want it
Yeah.
to be, right. And if we all
Mhm.
get behind that as well too,
Mhm.
it requires our government to stop being punk ass bitches and actually like right. Well, let's just say our government should trade people in the first. Like our government we should have a new government in the first place. But like
Well,
really, it's all about like this is what could be our world. This could be our new America, and our America that includes that really is including everyone from Canada all the way down to I'm not sure geographically what country is up is towards the bottom of South America, but like yeah. So I thought that was incredible and amazing. It was so beautiful. I think what I also say is I hate seeing people is like so many people are like, I must now go to Puerto Rico. And I'm like,
no.
no,
Mm-mm.
Oh
That is
you
not
don't
what
no.
need
this
to
is,
do
girl.
that.
Yeah,
Like, you
Stay
don't
child.
need to
home.
do that. Stay
No.
your ass home. Like,
Stay
bless you, don't
home.
need to do that. No, no, it's
Benito was
not, baby.
not
It's not
telling you
for
to go there.
you.
No.
Exactly.
Like, and
Benito was
like,
saying
you know,
appreciate,
I just
but
want to
stay
pose this
away.
question to folks because I know folks who are like who also like want to go to Hawaii a lot and Puerto Rico and their pushback is like, well, I'm supporting tourism. And I'm like, have you considered just sending money to the country? Like, do you have to go to the country to send them money? Could you
Mhm.
just be like, hey, what are the local shops here? Can I just support them? Like, that's what
Mhm.
I'm curious about. And I wish people like I'm like, you don't need to make a vacation out of it
No.
because truthfully, like vacation actually won't help them at all. They actually
Yeah.
might ruin them
But
even further.
if we really dig into it, I mean, Hawaii, this point won't stand. But if we dig into like why people go to Puerto Rico, it's because it's cheaper, and that's one of the things that people have been saying. Like, you want a vacation that's cheaper at the expense of us having to
And
spend
you don't
a
even
ton of
understand why it's cheaper.
resources.
Like you don't
Right.
understand why it's cheaper either. Like, you
Right.
understand that they're cheaper because we as their like owner of a country are giving them
Yeah.
less resources.
Yeah.
We are not supplying them the resources they need to thrive. We are
Yeah.
taking their own economy. Like, it's
It's
just
so much and it's deep. And I like, to
Mhm.
your point, Joho, like I definitely don't want to take this moment to take away from the symmetry and the importance of it. But I definitely think the thing I kept thinking about was seeing all of the people who were upset about it per se. The biggest thing for me was the takeaway was
yeah.
you're not smart and you don't want to have to think.
Hello.
And
hmm
so, a big
hmm
part of the reason why you have such a problem with this is because this is going to challenge a lot of the stuff that you want to overlook and that you don't want to have to engage. And
Mhm.
so, the same reason why our country is trying to tear down, and that's what what my students, I teach at night. Everyone knows that I teach, and I tell them, when I'm talking to them or when we're in conversations about certain things that we're reading or certain, theories and concepts that I'm bringing to them, I'm constantly saying the reason why education was the first target of what we
hmm
see is because people hate knowing the truth. Education is going to always bring the truth. And so what we saw Bad Bunny do is he used truth
hmm
as art as a means of truth. And so
hmm
everyone is mad at him for that very reason because, again, niggas don't read and niggas don't want to read. And that's
Mhm.
a big part of it, is just so much
Mhm.
of what he did was putting everything that they have overlooked, things that they don't want to talk about, things they don't want to see. He put it in their face. He basically said, for 13 minutes, you're going to have to deal with the fact that you are privileged and that you only want to go to Puerto Rico when it benefits you. But you don't want to
Mhm.
take you don't want to take the time to talk about the fact that they still don't have no
hmm
power, that they still don't have a lot of the means that they need, the fact that Domino, let's call Domino out on this, that they colonized parts of Puerto Rico for sugar and they still are doing it and no one's saying anything
hmm
about it. But okay, girl,
Mm.
but
Mm.
get off. You're mad at me because this is 13 minutes where you have to learn. All right, girl, whatever. But anyway, all of that to say, Benito, your people, your team, and I want to recognize too, because I think oftentimes when celebrities do things, I've said this about Beyonce too. People will say, "Oh, Beyonce's so smart. Beyonce's so..." Yes, Beyonce is the nucleus, but there are still
Um,
thousands of people around her who help make all of the dreams and the visions that Beyonce have come true. So I want to shout out, I don't know these people by name, but I also want to shout out the production folks, because just as much as Benito may have had a vision and an idea and a thing of what he wanted to do, it still took thousands of people to stand there in green shrubs to be able to make Puerto Rico on that field. It took a whole bunch of people to film it. It took a whole
As
bunch
a
of people to
village,
record
yeah.
it. There's a million people who went into making that happen. So I want to make sure that I give them credit too. So all that to be
Mm.
said, shout out to the 2026 Super Bowl. Yes, I know there are a lot of people who hate what the NFL stands for, and I get it, and that is real too. We can talk about both at the same time. We can talk about how terrible the NFL is, but we can also talk about how important it was for Benito to do what he did with the platform
Mm.
that he had at that event. So want to name that as well. But anyway, all that to be said, now that we are trying to learn the lyrics to many of Benito's songs, I only understood a few lines, but I swear I'm going to dance anyway. We're going to take a quick break, and we are going to come back with y'all's favorite segment, Yes Ma'am and No Ma'am. Will be back. All right, y'all. So we are back with the last segment of the show, y'all's favorite segment, Yes Ma'am and No Ma'am Pam. And this week I'm coming in kind of hot because there's two things that I think are really important that we definitely need to discuss. So I'm going to start with the good news. As you all know, with our Yes Ma'am and No Ma'am, this is the segment where we definitely get into the things that we love or the things that we absolutely can't stand. So this week for my Yes Ma'am, I want to shout out something that is local for us here in Southern California. It's happening in our backyard, and it is also being used to mirror a lot of the stuff that we're seeing in other states. So I definitely just want to say, pay attention, because a lot of the stuff that we're seeing pop up and we're seeing happening, i.e., stuff happening in Minnesota, the stuff that we're seeing happen in a whole bunch of different places with ICE, all of that is just they're planning. Everyone's planning. And so this was one of the things that was specifically targeting trans people that folks were using here in Southern California to be able to try to model as a U.S. thing. And it basically is not happening. So for those of you who don't know, TS et al. Versus Riverside Unified School District is a federal lawsuit filed back in November of 2024. Now, keep in mind that this was filed in 2024, but it was on the heels of the outing policy that started in 2022. Well, AB 1266, which follows AB 1250, your girl is smart over here. She knows some shit. AB 1266 alleges that it violated Title IX and the 14th Amendment by allowing transgender female athletes to compete on a girls' teams. Kind of in the same vein of AB 1950, where they were talking about this idea that trans people shouldn't have rights to be able to protect themselves in schools and blah, blah, blah. The outing policy, if you're not familiar with the outing policy, please follow it. Please stay aware of it. It is very much a big deal. And there's still a lot of litigation around this outing policy that's still popping up here, not only in California, but other states like Texas and also Arizona. Anyway, all that to be said, back to AB 1266, the suit claims plaintiffs were displaced from opportunities aiming to restore sex-based protections. And I've been interviewed for this, both for my job and also for this podcast. I have said, if the dolls who are cisgender are upset that the trans girls are taking a spot, then you need to step your pussy up, because trans girls are not the reason why you're not making it onto a team. Your slow ass time is the reason why you're not able to make it on a team. But that's neither here nor there. You need to work out a little bit more. That's just all I've said, and I will keep saying that. But anyway, this lawsuit aims to restore sex-based protections. Well, the good news is a motion to dismiss was filed by the state and the school district, specifically in San Diego. Was San Diego? No, I think it was Riverside. Riverside County was the one. There's something else that's happening in San Diego County around basically trans folks being able to get their health. That's another good thing that actually came out yesterday. I don't know if you saw that, Jordan, but basically there was a trans health clinic that was shut down a couple of weeks ago. Well, the judge in San Diego basically said that they have to stay open and operate and provide services until March 10th. So that's another good thing that came out of this.
Oh,
but anyway,
yes. The Radius Hospital, girl.
Yes. So just the trans girls in Southern California are eating. A motion to dismiss was filed by the state and the school district, with hearing schedules in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California, basically saying, y'all don't have a case. Get the fuck out of here. Stop wasting my time. So all that to be said, I want to say this. This is a yes, ma'am. This is a very long yes, ma'am. I'm saying yes, ma'am, because there's so many people who keep thinking, what is a protest going to do? What is me writing my Congress people going to do? What is me marching going to do? What is me getting on social media and talking about this shit going to do? It's going to do exactly this. It's going to get to judges. It's going to get to our Congress people. It's going to get to our senators. It's going to get to the people that have positions of power to tell them that they cannot take our rights away. And so, yes, these might be small blips in a very fucked up system right now. But the reality is that it's our voices, our work that's telling these people that you are not going to take our rights away. And so I just want to, I cannot stress this enough for the trans dolls who listen to this show. Please keep using your voice. Know that we're out here caping for you, pushing for you, literally saying you're seen, you're loved, you're reveled. And I'm just so happy that this motion has been struck down. So yeah, I guess that's my long way of saying shake titty, shake titty, shake titties, as we do here at the Black Fat Femme Show. Now, my no man Pam, which is, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I want to say a swift fuck you to whoever thought that Maha commercial with was it Tyson? Is his name Mike Tyson?
Was that what that was? Mike Tyson?
That
I
was
didn't
a
watch it, but it was on
Maha
Mike Tyson. I was
initiative,
like, what
honey.
happened?
The Make
Maha is
America
so-
Healthy Again. But I got
gross.
questions because the person who is supposed to be at the top of this initiative just said that he did coke off of a toilet seat. So how in the fuck are you supposed to be making America healthy again when the person who's running the initiative ain't healthy? He said he got brain worms. He said what? Now what is this? What are we living in?
Hell. Like,
what is this? Like y'all are terrorizing us to death and then want to talk about eat healthy. But then you also want to say, like, I don't know if y'all saw this, but this came out yesterday. So by the time you all hear this, it'll be about a week. They are basically saying that bodegas now have to charge it something to the idea of like they have to carry double in order to be able to use EBT or whatever the case may be. Like something has to go up in terms of produce. There's some sort of correlation, and I didn't read the story enough to be able to fully understand what's happening, but basically they are penalizing people who live in areas and in food deserts with not being able to use their EBT to buy the food and the groceries and the produce the way that they want to. So you keep making it more hard. You keep making it more difficult for marginalized people specifically who need food assistance to get the assistance that they need. But then you're going to use a whole, 30-second, 45-second bit from a rich man to tell us that being fat is terrible. Girl, go fuck yourself. Like, I literally am that's the only thing. Like, I've never told anyone to their face to go fuck themselves. And we've talked about that on the show before. But I have never in my life wanted to say that to both Mike Tyson, to that man with the brain worms, and to everybody around him. Go fuck yourself. Like, it's just, it enamors me how dumb people can be. Like, I am literally sometimes mouth agape just going, are we really this stupid? Are we really this stupid? And I know the answer. But like, I literally, like, anyone who is supporting, I know I'm going off on a random tangent, and I swear I'm going to shut up.
Go off, baby. Go off.
The people who are talking about, oh, you got to be nice to the people who voted. Nah, fuck you too. Everybody who voted for this, everyone who thought that this was going to benefit them and are now coming around and are saying, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know it was good. Fuck you and fuck your mama, because you voted for this. You knew we've been telling you since 2022 what this administration was going to do. Y'all didn't want to listen. Y'all didn't think fat meat was greasy. And now we got all these stupid initiatives. We got all these stupid people. That Bondi lady, fuck her too. I hope she. I'm so sick of these people. I'm just sick of them. I am so, like, it literally, I've been sitting on this all week, and I was like, I don't want to come to the mic this hot with a guest, but I'm over it. I'm just so over it. But anyway, what are your yes ma'ams and your no ma'ams, girl? Because I can go on for another hour.
Oh, hello.
I'm sorry.
No. There's no need to apologize, honey, because the frustration with this current administration has just been, my God, unsurmountable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unsurmountable, whatever, Chris, whichever one is right.
You know what the fuck he I mean, you know.
So in alignment with what you just shared, my yes ma'am is I've been having a lot of conversations with folks around how, they feel powerless, right? There's just so much happening constantly. There's so much chaos. There's so much so much to consume. And capitalism is really good at making us just stay in our lane, like just focus on you, just do your
T.
thing. And so I think it's important for us to be strategic with how we use our energy. And so something that I've been using to kind of track, um, obviously, like federal stuff is a lot right now, so I've been encouraging people to really focus locally, on what's happening within their state, what's happening within their city, what's happening within their county. And a wonderful resource that I tend to use, is the ACLU's website.
Okay.
And there's a website, particularly called Mapping Attacks on LGBTQ plus Right in the US state legislature in 2026. There has been 420 anti-LGBTQ plus bills that have been introduced into legislature, have been proposed to legislature, in 2026 alone. It's only
Mm.
February. It's February. It's only February. Okay. Child,
God,
child,
we work hard, but Satan works harder. I swear.
Wow, I'm just like,
Yes,
what in the world? Like,
I
what is
know.
wrong? What is wrong with
Yeah.
y'all? And it's those moments when I realize that, and I'm also reading Marsha by Tourmaline,
Mm-hmm,
which is
mm-hmm,
about Marsha
mm-hmm,
P.
mm-hmm.
Johnson,
I
and
just finished it, girl.
ah,
Love that
Saw
book.
that.
I've been
I saw
savoring
But
that.
it.
what
I've
I'm
been
saying,
savoring it.
it's
I'm like,
so
I'm
yeah.
trying not to read it too quickly because it's just so
Same.
good. But you see that they are threatened by us. That's why
Yeah.
they are threatened by our joy. They are threatened by our ability to
Hmm.
be and to reimagine, um, all the little constraints and rules and cages they try to put us in, and we have burst out of those bitches. So I think
Okay.
it's hello. We have burst out of them. We have turned them. We have reimagined them. We reinvent ways for folks to exist in this
Mm.
world, and that terrifies them.
Yeah.
And so, for folks who, and so my yes, ma'am, is to be strategic with your energy. Focus on, we all have a role to play, whether you are donating money, whether you are protesting in the street, whether you are volunteering, whether you are impacting an individual life, whether you are writing to your local politician. Figure out, it's not like, why are you not protesting? It's like, how are you contributing? Just
How
figure
are you
out your
contributing?
way,
Amen.
how you can contribute. And if
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out like what's happening locally, just figure that out. So that's one resource as it relates to LGBTQ plus population, the ACLU's website, Mapping Attacks on LGBTQ
Hmm.
plus rights. That's my yes, ma'am,
Amen.
to take a look at
Mm.
that. And unfortunately, a lot of those are disproportionately impacting trans and non-binary communities.
Of course.
Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's the
Mm-hmm.
yes, ma'am. The no, ma'am, is, again, all this chaos is strategic, right? All this chaos is, they're doing this on purpose. They want us
Yep.
to be tired as hell. They want us
Mm-hmm.
to be confused. They don't want us to dream. They want us to feel isolated. Like, this is
Hmm.
all strategy, y'all. Like, this is strategy. This is warfare. Like, this is warfare, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And this is intentional. And so, my no, ma'am, is to uh, do not consume news every day.
Yeah.
Like, that is yes, stay informed, but do not be consumed. Like, we have to make sure that we are strategic with
Hmm.
our energy. Our energy is precious. It is a
Turn that
precious
Apple News
resource.
off.
Mm.
Yes. Turn
Turn
that
it
Apple News alert
off.
off.
Like,
Yes.
if they're going to, and the alternative, if you're like, well, I want to be informed, pick days and times in
Mm-hmm.
those days where you allow yourself to be informed, to read up on what's happening. But every day waking up to see what's happening out in the world is going to drain
Not
your
gonna help
ass,
you.
child.
Nope.
Don't do it.
It's
Don't
not gonna
do
help
it.
you.
Don't do it.
Mm.
So that's my no, man. We can't constantly be consuming everything that they're putting out, because that's what they want us to do. They
Mm-hmm.
want us to do that. They want us to feel hopeless and lost and confused and drained and depleted, and we cannot let them do that to us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So that's my yes, ma'am,
Mm.
and no, ma'am.
I love that. Thank you for saying
Mm.
that.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
My yes, ma'am, is to the community of San Diego because I don't know what her role is, but Christine Noemi, what his
Yes,
role
that
is,
the
she had come,
the other hoe.
she had come
Yes.
to Dago to do a little press conference about ICE, I believe, and protesters came.
Was that with the
Um,
sirens?
Persons came, so persons came to to protest her,
Oh, yeah,
and then
they
the
did.
popo was like, "We'll put on sirens to block you out," but they blocked her out too. So ain't no one hear her. So go off, protesters. Ain't no one hanging out, bitch. You look dumb and you sound dumber. Like it's just, I love my community that said we're not here for this shit. And then my no man Pam is to the administration for the removal of a pride flag from the Stonewall Monument
I saw that.
In New York.
Mm-hmm.
Now the gag is like the Stonewalls are right across the street, and that's private property. So like the pride flag still flies high 10 feet away. So wait, what did you do? Like I get the message that you're trying. What do you do successfully?
Yeah,
Quickly,
quickly.
like
Yes.
I understand the game you're playing of like you're saying that in things by the National Park Services like national monuments won't have that. I understand the game you're playing, which is a diabolical game, but you look dumb. Like you still look dumb, because
Mm,
10 feet. There's a
Make
measure
no
pride
sense. It
flag.
makes no
It
sense.
just makes
It
no
makes
none.
sense.
no sense.
None
I
at
feel like
all.
you're grasping at straws, and and you treat us as if we're
Distraction.
done, but we're not. We're
Mm,
just like, okay, you look so dumb right now,
yeah, you look
standing
foolish.
outside this house, like just being wild. So
Just
no,
being
ma'am,
stupid.
Pam, yeah,
Yeah,
just being stupid. So
just being stupid.
Again,
I did want to
distraction. Distraction.
it
That's what that
all
is.
distractions. It's
look
all
over
Distraction.
there. And
distractions.
I'm like, girl, I'm not looking.
Yes.
I have
Look
two
over
eyes.
there.
I can see both ways, girl. Like
Yes, I can see,
I
girl,
can
what you're
see
doing.
everywhere. I have
Yeah.
peripheral. I see all
I
around.
It's
It's like
so
you aren't
annoying.
distracting me. You just look great.
Yeah.
You just look
I
bad.
I also did want to shout out too this week. I know we have to wrap, but I was gonna say, Mayor Mamdani signed in. I'm so mad I don't live in Mamdani Stan, but I was gonna say, they signed into law another quick blip of joy. So I don't know if you all know, but there has been a history of kids who live in the foster system. When they go from one home to another, they have to, oftentimes their stuff gets put into trash bags. Well, the state of New York now requires that if you are fostering kids, that when they leave your home, they have to have like proper luggage, or they have to have a backpack with all of their stuff in it.
Oh, that's
They no
great.
longer can carry,
Yep.
they can't use trash bags to do it. I guess you'll get fined for it. But
Mm.
anyway, to say, like, I think that's just another piece of humanity that we're seeing. Like
Yep.
every time the world tries to take an element of humanity, there's always some type of blip of love or humanity that's going to be poured back into people. So I love, I that was news for me that filled me up this week. So
Mm.
anyway, all that said, I know we said a lot this episode, a lot of feels, a lot of things. We're so grateful that you were here with us, Christopher. Please send your thoughts. If you have thoughts, feedback, emails to blackfatfempod@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. We love to hear from you. We will definitely respond to you. You can also send us your thoughts via social media by interacting with our post on Instagram and Threads by using the handle blackfatfempod. That is where more of this foolishness lives. All that to be said, Christopher, where can our listeners find you when they're not stalking, all stalking? You see what I did there? When they're stalking, they're trying to get on your ass. Yeah, when they're not looking for plant info from you, where can they find you?
Oh, darling, yes. So obviously Instagram at Plant Queen, PlantKween.
Mm.
TikTok as well. Eh. Yeah, TikTok. That's a whole other conversation, y'all. Read
Yeah,
up on it,
girl.
honey. Read up on it. I'm
Yeah.
also on Substack,
Okay.
Bloom Boldly, honey, because I love to write.
Yes, bloom boldly.
So yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Obviously, you can support the girl by purchasing a book, You Grow Girl. All
Mm-hmm.
right. I'm on all the platforms. Type it in. You spell girl GURL, honey, because what we like to play with language, baby. But
Yes.
yeah, follow along. A lot more coming. Some projects that I'm working on that I can't wait to share with folks coming out
Mm.
soon. But yeah, follow along, partake in some joy, maybe learn something new about yourself, and be invited to exist unapologetically in your truth.
Mm.
Amen. Amen. And as for you, Queen Joho, where can the dolls find you?
As you do every week, y'all, you can find me at Joho Daniels across all socials. My website, johdaniels.com. And if not there, you can find me hiding from my cell phone because if I get one more call at like 6 p.m. or
Mm-hmm.
7
Mm-hmm.
a.m.
Mm-hmm.
or really just any time of the day that's not like my mom, my best friends, or like a dick appointment, don't call me. Don't call
Well,
like
Hello,
I'm good.
hello.
I'm
well,
good.
yeah.
I'm good for a
Please
little bit. Like
get
just
off
like
my line.
yeah.
Yes.
Now God, if it's like $1 million, okay,
Mm-hmm.
don't let it to voicemail. Let it go to
Yeah.
me. Let it go to me.
Let
Okay.
that find me. Yes. Let
Let
that
that
find
find me.
me.
But you know,
Yes.
if it's like a collector, or you need,
Mm-hmm.
or you
Mm-hmm.
need like a you need like some work done, don't call me at all. Yeah,
Look, please, yes, please
please and
stay
thank
out
you.
of my inbox.
Hello.
If it's for work and good money, please find us. On socials, you can find me at Dr. John Paul. Online, you can find me at www.drjohnpaul, where you can learn more about my consulting, my books, catch it,
Catch it.
and where I will be in the coming weeks. I wanted to shout out and say that if you are in LA in the next couple of days, actually, it's going to be next week, or by the time you hear this, it'll be this Saturday. So February 21st, I will be at the Elysian Theater for Drunk Black History. I will be talking about the life and times of Polly Murray. Come
Yes.
through. Tickets are only $15. $15. You can go to Starbucks, you can go to Coffee Bean, you can go all them other places. You can come see me down to the Drunk History at the Elysian Theater. We want to
Hello.
thank, if you also want to see me on Hulu, go watch me, Who Am I Meant to Be, where I talk about the magic of the show and the dreams that we continue to talk about in regards to being Black fat femme in a world that just don't want us here. But we out here thriving, honey. You just going to have to deal. This has been another show. Stay Black, fat, femme, and fabulous. And remember what, Joho?
We may not be your cup of tea, but girl, you need some water because you gotta have roots before you have branches, bitch. Okay.
Amen. Amen. You go out here looking dusty. Just
Looking
dusty.
dusty and
Yes, honey.
dirty, bitch.
Put on some deodorant with some
look
aluminum
dry.
while you're
You
at it.
look dry. Okay.
You look dusty.
The moisture meter says low. You need to get some
Low.
moisture.
Ah, what a moment. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye. The Black Fat Femme podcast is executive produced by Joey Pat and Dr. John Paul.
All content related to the show is edited by Chris Rogers.
This has been a podcast by iHeartMedia and Dr. John Paul, LLC,
The Black Fat Femme Podcast.
where all the intersections of identity are celebrated, honey.
I know that's right.